Daredevil, the god without fear. Let's be real, Daredevil has always been one of Marvel's most grounded heroes. There are no lasers, no flying, no cosmic nonsense, just insane skill, radar sense, and pure willpower. That's literally why people love him. He's the guy who can stand in a room with gods and still hold his own, without actually being one. But then War of the Realms came along and basically said, yeah, what if we made this man a literal god? And just like that, Matt Murdock went from defending Hell's Kitchen to tapping into powers way beyond anything he's ever had before. During the event, Heimdall gets taken out of the picture, and instead of just leaving that role empty, his power gets passed on to Daredevil. Suddenly Matt isn't just relying on his radar sense anymore. He becomes the new All-Seer. We're talking cosmic level perception. He can see across realms, sense events happening far beyond Earth, and basically perceive reality on a scale he was never meant to handle. It's such a wild upgrade because Daredevil's whole identity is built around seeing without seeing, and now he's seeing everything. This power-up actually messes with him. Matt spent his entire life mastering a very specific way of sensing the world. His radar sense, his hearing, his instincts, that's his comfort zone. But now he's overloaded. He can hear the entire universe at once. Being the All-Seer isn't easy, and for someone like Daredevil, it's almost overwhelming. And this is where the name, the God Without Fear, came from. Daredevil was already called the Man Without Fear, but now he's operating on a completely different level. With Heimdall's abilities, he's watching over entire realms. His senses go from human, well, enhanced human, to straight up divine. And the craziest part, he still keeps that same Daredevil mindset. He's still brave, still stubborn, still willing to throw himself into danger no matter what. The only difference now is that he's doing it with godlike awareness. God of Light Knull. Knull is the god of darkness, the creator of symbiotes, and he's suddenly thrown into a place where darkness doesn't even exist. We're talking about the Light Force dimension, home of the Enigma Force. It's basically the opposite everything Knull is. For the first time ever, Knull isn't in control, he's out of his element, weakened, and forced to confront something he's never dealt with before, and that's Light itself. Now enter Eddie Brooke, but not the version you're used to. This is Eddie as the Illuminated, a being connected to the Enigma Force, basically acting as a guide to his realm. He offers Knull a second chance to change. He tells him, you don't have to be the god of darkness anymore. Knull, of all people, being offered redemption, it's like asking the embodiment of evil to just switch sides. Of course, Knull being Knull, he doesn't exactly sit down and reflect on his life choices. Instead, he takes power. During the confrontation, Knull manages to siphon the Enigma Force itself from Eddie, and just like that, the god of darkness now wields the power of pure light. He abandons the shadows entirely and embraces this new energy for control. It's not Knull becoming good just cause he's white now, it's Knull weaponizing light. And this is where it gets insane. Knull declares himself as a being who controls all forms of light, not just sunlight or energy blasts, everything. We're talking stars, supernovas, electricity, and even radio waves. He literally says the stars belong to him now. It's such a massive jump in scale. He goes from ruling darkness to dominating the very force that powers the universe itself. And he is still Knull, same old mindset. So basically you're taking a character defined by darkness and flipping him into pure light. But instead of it changing him for the better, it just makes him more dangerous. Knull doesn't adapt to the light, he bends it to his will. It's a complete rewrite of what this character even represents. Darkness, light, at that point, it doesn't matter. Power is power. All Black Double Mjolnir Thor. This power-up doesn't just come out of nowhere, it happens during one of the most legendary Thor series ever, the God Butcher Saga, and it involves 3 versions of Thor at once, Young Thor, Present Thor, and King Thor from the future, all of them facing one of the most terrifying villains Marvel ever created, Gorr the God Butcher. This is a war across time against someone who's been slaughtering gods like it's nothing, and for once, even Thor isn't enough. Everything revolves around the weapon Gorr is using, the all-black Necrosword. This thing is not normal, it's basically a living weapon, made of darkness, capable of killing gods, creating armies, and adapting to anything. It's the reason Gorr can even stand up to Thor in the first place, and over time, it starts influencing him, twisting his mind, pushing him further into madness. So now Thor is fighting someone powered by one of the most dangerous weapons in Marvel. At one point, Thor ends up wielding 2 Mjolnirs at the same time, his own and the one from King Thor's timeline. One Mjolnir is already a god-tier weapon, now double that. The power output, the lightning, the raw force, it's overwhelming. This moment alone already feels like Big Thor, but somehow it still isn't enough to fully stop Gorr and the god bomb he's building. So Thor does something insane. Instead of just fighting the power, he takes fix it. Thor absorbs the all-black Necrosword into himself, and just like that, everything changes. Now he's not just the god of thunder anymore, he's channeling darkness itself. This is the all-black Thor moment. Thor, a symbol of heroism and godhood, wielding something as corrupt and destructive as the Necrosword, and combining that with two Mjolnirs, that's overkill on a cosmic level. It's the moment where Thor is pushed to his absolute limit, forced to use power he normally never would. And yeah, it works. It gives him enough strength to finally defeat Gorr the God Butcher. Unipower Silver Surfer. Silver Surfer is already insanely powerful. He casually flies through space, manipulates matter, absorb energy, time warp, all thanks to the power cosmic given to him by Galactus. The Surfer has always been this calm, almost philosophical cosmic being, but every now and then, the universe throws something at him that pushes him beyond even his already ridiculous limits. And that's exactly where the Unipower comes in. The Unipower is basically the force behind Captain Universe, this mysterious cosmic energy that chooses a host when the universe needs saving. It bonds with someone worthy and turns them into a near unstoppable force. But here's the twist, it doesn't always choose the right person. Sometimes it gets forced, manipulated, or ends up in the wrong hands. And when that happens, things get bad, because whoever has the Unipower, they get reality level influence. It's like the universe itself saying, here, fix the problem, and handing someone god-tier abilities to do it. At one point, the Unipower gets hijacked by a villain named Chrosakus. And yeah, that goes exactly how you'd expect. He becomes a massive cosmic threat, way beyond what he should ever be capable of. That's when the Surfer steps in, and this turns into a full-on cosmic clash between two insane forces, the Power Cosmic versus the Unipower. During the battle, Silver Surfer manages to separate the Unipower from Chrosakus, and it bonds with him instead. And just like that, it's over. The Surfer goes straight up, god-tier beyond comprehension. You're combining the Power Cosmic with the Unipower. The result is a being that can do almost anything. Energy manipulation, reality influence, cosmic awareness, all amplified to absurd levels. Unlike Chrosakus, the Surfer actually understands responsibility. He doesn't abuse it, doesn't go crazy with it. He uses it to fix the problem, free the people who were enslaved, and restore balance. Of course, he doesn't keep it. Once everything is done, he lets the Unipower go, and it finds a new, more fitting host. Daredevil got new senses in Hell. So Daredevil goes to Hell, not metaphorically, not in some dream sequence, but actual Hell. It wasn't random. Matt Murdock made that choice as part of a bigger plan to finally take down the Hand and all the dark forces tied to them. This was Daredevil stepping into a whole supernatural war zone, way outside his usual territory, and as you'd expect, he doesn't come out the same. While in Hell, Daredevil is wielding weapons made of holy energy, and even manifests these glowing, almost angelic horns. It's such a wild visual because it flips his whole devil aesthetic into something more divine. The guy called the Devil of Hell's Kitchen is now using holy power to fight actual demons. It's poetic in a weird way. Anyway, after everything he goes through, Daredevil comes back different. His senses evolve beyond just radar, hearing and smell. They become supernatural. Daredevil can now perceive things that normal humans and even most heroes can't. We're talking about sensing evil on a deeper level. He can detect the influence of dark forces, including the living embodiments of the 7 deadly sins, no matter how well they are hiding. It's like his old radar sense got upgraded into something that reads the soul instead of just the environment. Daredevil can look at someone and basically sense the darkness inside them. Not just this guy is shady, but actual supernatural corruption. The 7 deadly sins can be walking around in human form, and Matt can pick up on it instantly. That's a huge shift from his usual role. Before, he relied on instincts and evidence to judge people. Now, he has a direct line to something deeper, something almost divine. And what makes this version of Daredevil stand out is that it's not about becoming stronger physically. There's no cosmic blast, no god-tier strength, just a terrifying expansion of perception. And honestly, that fits him perfectly. He's all about senses, judgment, and walking the line between good and evil. And this upgrade just pushes that idea to its absolute limit. Thor as the Herald of Galactus. Thor is one of Marvel's heavy hitters. We're talking God of Thunder, wielder of Mjolnir, son of Odin. This guy has been fighting world-ending threats since day one. And when he steps into the All-Father role, yeah, he gets even stronger. That alone is already a massive upgrade. But somehow, Marvel looked at that and said that's not enough, because what comes next is easily one of Thor's craziest, most unexpected power-ups ever. During the chaos involving the Black Winter, even Galactus was scared. That's when you know things are serious. So what does Galactus do? He goes to Thor and basically says, I need your help and I'll make you my herald. and Thor becomes a Herald of Galactus, the same role once held by the Silver Surfer. It sounds insane, but Thor accepts, because the threat is that big. And just like that, he gained access to something he's never had before, and of course that's power cosmic. Thor now is All-Father Thor, plus a Herald of Galactus. That means he has both Odin Force level power and the power cosmic at the same time. We're talking about a character who can already summon god level lightning, now also manipulation cosmic energy on a universal scale. His attacks hits harder, his durability goes through the roof. Anyway, Thor realizes Galactus isn't exactly being honest, shocking, I know, and decides he's not about to be anyone's servant. So what does he do? He turns on Galactus himself, and not just that, he actually overpowers him. Thor absorbs Galactus' energy, drains his power, and straight up kills him. That's how insane this version of Thor is. Thor has always been a god, a king, a warrior, but a herald, that's completely different. It flips his role, puts him in a cosmic position we've never really seen him in, and then takes it even further by making him outgrow it entirely. Colossus became the Juggernaut. Let's not forget, Colossus is already one of the most physically powerful X-Men. The guy literally turns his entire body into organic steel. Bullets, useless. Explosions, that's light work. And strength-wise, he's been throwing hands with some of Marvel's biggest heavy hitters for years. He's also half of the iconic Fastball special with Wolverine, which tells you everything about how strong he is. So yeah, Colossus was already built like a walking fortress, but through manipulation involving his sister magic, he ends up becoming the new host of the Juggernaut's power. That means he gains access to the Crimson Bands of Cyttorak, the same mystical force that powers Juggernaut. And if you know Juggernaut, you already know what that means. Once he starts moving, nothing stops him. This is a magical, unstoppable force energy layered on top of Colossus or the insane physical abilities. Colossus becomes ridiculously strong, way beyond his normal limits, his durability even crazier. He's basically immune to damage on a whole different level now. And when he moves, he charges with so much force that it creates glowing red energy around him. At this point, he is inevitable. While empowered as Juggernaut, he's able to go head to head with Hulk, and not just survive, he actually competes. That alone tells you how insane this upgrade is. But like most crazy Marvel power-ups, there's a catch. The power of Cyttorak comes with influence. Colossus isn't fully himself anymore. He's more aggressive, more destructive, and gets pulled toward darker actions. Sorcerer Supreme Doom. Let's get this straight. Dr. Doom is already one of the most dangerous minds in Marvel. Genius level intellect, master strategist, ruler of Latveria, and a powerful sorcerer. Like most characters specialize in one thing, science or magic. Doom said, why not both? He's always been obsessed with power, control, and proving he's better than everyone, especially Reed. So when an opportunity shows up to gain even more power, you already know he's taking it. At one point, Dr. Doom actually becomes the Sorcerer Supreme. That's the title usually held by Doctor Strange, meaning Doom is now the most powerful magic user on Earth. The same guy who already had advanced tech, armor, and scientific knowledge now has access to the highest level of mystical power too. Most sorcerers rely purely on spells, rituals, and mystical knowledge, but Doom, he combines magic with science. It's like giving a wizard a supercomputer and infinite prep time. He can counter spells, create new ones, and manipulate reality in ways that even the other sorcerers struggle to understand. And it makes sense. Unlike some heroes, he doesn't hesitate, he doesn't second guess. Dr. Doom has the willpower and confidence to use magic at its absolute peak. And in Marvel, that matters. A lot of magical power comes down to belief and control, and Doom has both an unlimited supply. Werewolf Captain America. This one might sound fake at first, but it's 100% real. Captain America, the symbol of discipline, order, and pure heroism, turns into a werewolf. This version is literally called Capwolf, and it's exactly as wild as it sounds. It all starts when Steve gets cursed and transformed, turning him into this clawed, fanged version of himself. Normally, becoming a werewolf means losing control, becoming a mindless beast, easy to manipulate. But this is Captain America we're talking about. The super soldier serum basically says, yeah, no. Steve keeps his mind and his tactical thinking. On top of that, the transformation boosts everything he already has, like speed, strength, agility, and adds enhanced senses like smell and hearing. So instead of a random monster, you get a strategic werewolf super soldier. As Capwolf, Captain America becomes even more dangerous in combat. He's stronger than his usual peak human level, faster, more aggressive, and way harder to track thanks to his heightened senses. Enemies can't just outsmart him or control him like a normal werewolf, because he's still still Steve Rogers underneath. It's like taking Captain America's already perfect physical condition and pushing him into something more primal. Now here's the funny part. This whole thing actually backfires on the villains. They realize pretty quickly that turning people into werewolves isn't exactly helpful when your target is already one. Captain America becomes immune to certain tricks and control methods because of his condition, and when characters like Wolverine and others with similar healing factors get involved, it just makes things worse for the bad guys. Basically, what was supposed to weaken Cap ends up making him even harder to deal with. King in Black, Eddie Brock. Eddie Brock has always been a wild character, but never this wild. As Venom, he was already dangerous, you've got super strength, regeneration, the usual symbiote chaos. But at the end of the day, he was still more of a street to mid-level anti-hero compared to Marvel's cosmic heavyweights. Then King in Black happened, and everything changed. Eddie got pushed into a role that affects the entire multiverse. To understand this power-up, you need to know about Null. He is the original god of symbiotes. This guy is ancient and literally commands an army of living darkness. During the King in Black event, Eddie ends up defeating Null in one of the most insane showdowns Marvel has done in recent years. And when Null falls, that power gets passed on. Suddenly Eddie Brock becomes the new King in Black, the ruler of all symbiotes across the universe. Eddie now has control over every symbiote, not just Venom, all of them. Across planets, across space, across time, he can communicate with them, command them, and even experience reality through them. It's like having billions of extensions of yourself scattered throughout the universe. And on top of that, his connection to the symbiote hive mind becomes something cosmic. Something way beyond anything we've seen before. But it doesn't stop at control. This power starts messing with time itself. Eddie's consciousness begins to exist across different points in time, creating alternate versions and branching paths. One of these leads to something called the Eventuality, basically a future, hyper-evolved version of this power that goes even further beyond. It gets weird very fast. Eddie Brock is dealing with existence on a level where past, present, and future start blending together. So yeah, this is a guy who started as a journalist with a grudge, and now he's basically a cosmic entity managing an entire species across the universe. It's a complete evolution. Angel Punisher. Frank is already terrifying without any powers. The man is pure vengeance, fueled by lust and armed to the teeth. No super serum, no mutations, no magic, just skill, strategy, and zero hesitation. That's what makes him scary. But at one point, Frank Castle actually dies, and instead of staying gone, he comes back as something completely unexpected, an angel of heaven. After one of his many deaths, because it's comics of course, Frank doesn't just wake up in a coffin. He's brought back by heaven itself. Not hell, not demons. Punisher becomes an agent of divine justice, essentially a heavenly warrior sent back to Earth with a mission. And if that sounds like it would soften him or make him more heroic, no. He's still Frank Castle. Same mind, same thinking, and same brutality. Just now backed by something holy. He gains supernatural strength, enhanced durability, and access to heavenly weapons and energy. He's not just shooting criminals anymore. He's delivering what feels like literal divine punishment. If anything, this power just makes him even more effective at what he really does. It's like giving a one-man army the backing of heaven itself. As an angel, Frank doesn't really change. He doesn't become some peaceful angel floating around, preaching forgiveness. He's still ruthless, still focused, still doing things his way. Punisher basically takes this divine upgrade and uses it like he would any other weapon. And that's what makes it feel so off, because even heaven can't fully change who Frank Castle is. This has to be one of the weirdest Marvel upgrades ever, simply because of how contradictory it is. You're taking one of the darkest, most brutal anti-heroes and making him a literal angel. Lifebringer Galactus. That's when the Devourer of Worlds became the Creator of Worlds. It's one of the wildest transformations in Marvel cosmic history, because we're talking about a guy whose entire existence was built on destruction, suddenly becoming a force of creation and renewal. This version of Galactus first appeared during the Ultimates by Al Ewing, and here's what happens. So after Secret Wars 2015, the multiverse gets rebuilt, and the cosmic status quo is shaken up. Galactus is still out there doing his usual thing, until the superhero team known as the Ultimates, which includes Captain Marvel, Blue Marvel, Black Panther, Spectrum, and America Chavez, decide to take on the impossible: fix Galactus. Using advanced technology and cosmic energy manipulation, they basically throw him into a massive cosmic incubator and force him through what's called a cosmic metamorphosis. When he emerges, he's golden, radiant, and recharged. As the Lifebringer, his purpose flips entirely. Instead of feeding on life, he gives it. He starts using his cosmic energy to revive dead planets and reignite dying stars. He becomes a creative cosmic entity, restoring balance to the universe that he'd spent eons devouring. He's no longer bound to hunger or destruction. He even develops a higher awareness awareness of his own nature, realizing that his former existence as a destroyer was just one phase in a larger cosmic cycle. For decades, Galactus was portrayed as this necessary evil. Reed Richards, the Silver Surfer, and others all wrestled with the moral question of whether Galactus should exist. But the Lifebringer version says, what if he's not just a destroyer? What if he's meant to evolve? Of course, nothing that pure lasts forever in Marvel. Later stories like Ultimates 2 show that even as a Lifebringer, Galactus faces cosmic backlash. Beings like the Living Tribunal and Eternity see his new form as a disruption in the natural order. But every action in the cosmos has consequences, and Galactus' rebirth draws enemies, especially when reality itself starts questioning if a being of pure creation can truly exist without destruction somewhere else. In short, Lifebringer Galactus is the redemption arc of the universe itself. He goes from a symbol of cosmic hunger to one of cosmic harmony.